Service. I own and operate East Hill Automotive Auto Service in Kent. East Hill Auto Service was founded in 2009, February 1st, 2009. At that time, in 2009, if you folks remember, there was a big dip in the economy. I think there was about 30–40% of shops, auto shops in the area that closed down, including the shop I was working for. I used to work for a company, a nationwide chain of automotive shop, and they closed practically 80% of the shops. And my options are either A, go back to the dealership, work there, or try and do it on my own. And at that time, I was about over 15 years under my belt of experience, automotive mechanic already. And I've also at that time I've also managed multiple shops. One of my job in this company, it's this nationwide company, I was what they call a roaming manager, where I would go to different shops, assess the situation, find out how come it's not, develop a team on how to make it work and make it profitable. So I've gained quite a bit of skills in running the shop, and one of the biggest thing that really put me back, they have offered me some of the shops they have chose to keep. They've offered me a position there, but it's not good when you go to work and the only thing you can think of is how to strangle your boss. It's not healthy. So I run across a shop that was vacant for the last year in East Hill. I was able to negotiate a fairly good deal on rent, and shortly after that, that's September 2009, about 4 months later, my very good friend Tracy Shiketti invited me to come to this networking group. And I've always told in the past that joining this group was by far the best bang or pound per pound investment that I made in my business in order for me to be successful. Our shop's been voted best of Kent numerous times. Last year, I found out that it is great. It is big prestige and bragging rights to be voted best of anything. But then someone told me, well, actually the sales rep on that company, which is Kent Porter, I said, I don't understand. So, well, apparently it depends on how much you put in advertising. I said, that's not kind of, it's a rigged election, so to speak. So I stopped advertising there, and lo and behold, I never lost any customer and still gained. Power of advertising now lies, I guess, into website. And thank you to Ms. Tatiana here. Almost every customer that comes in, I ask them, how'd you heard about us? 90% of them, new customers, saw you on the website. We have pretty good reviews, and we work hard for those reviews. I really take pride and ownership on things that we do. Like Lisa was saying and John was saying, in any type of business, there will be times that it's going to go sideways. There will be times it'll be a nightmare. But you have to rise above the occasion and stand behind your work. Stand behind the quality of workmanship that you produce. Our shop offered 2 years for 24,000 miles, whichever comes first on warranty. I have a customer that came in about 2 months ago. I still remember this because he goes, well, I'm comparing your warranty to a nationwide chain. I said, well, where do you go? Where do you travel? You got to go to the East Coast? No. How far do you travel? Well, sometimes I go to Spokane. Sometimes I go to Tacoma. So what if my car breaks at Tacoma or Spokane? Well, at that time, we have a vehicle that went to travel to Las Vegas, and after about a year and a half, the thermostat that we put in had failed. Thermostat, it fails. You know, it's mass produced. Everything is mass produced, so that's not really the workmanship. It's a part failure. The good news about it was I called my supplier, told him, hey, I have a customer in Las Vegas. This happened. The supplier goes, not a problem. Find out what it is. Our suppliers are also a nationwide chain, so parts issue is not a problem. We call them up. They send a part. Customer that we have was there for about less than 2 hours. He was in and out, done. Point being is the warranty that we produce is, you know, even though we are a, so to speak, mom and pop shop, but our reach of warranty is still basically nationwide. I mean, I took pride in something like that, that some things happen, but yet it's a matter of how you take care of it. The really cool part of what I like, or what I like doing is, you know, besides working on cars, is the customer service that I'm able to provide. I have a lot of folks that comes in from, well, yesterday we have a customer that came from Seattle, drove all the way from West Seattle to come to the shop. Why? Well, somebody had told me about you. Somebody had given him a 3-page estimate on the things it needs and cost thousands of dollars. Wants to get a second opinion. We looked at it, we give him our opinion. Yeah, you really don't need all of that. Half of that was an upsell. And actually, you know, he was complaining about noise. Gotta go over a bump, it makes a noise. Well, yes, the shocks was blown. When you go over a bump, the shocks hold the vehicle down, it was making noise. So, replaced the shocks, we went for a test drive, it was still making noise. Take a second look, and my technician goes, ask the customer if somebody had just did the brakes recently. Well, yes, somebody just had done the brakes before I took it to you. The shop gave me all this 3-page list. Caliper bolts, both of them are missing. So when it goes over a bump, click, 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 it was clucking around. Simple as that, a couple of bolts done, he was happy. He spent less than half of what he was expecting to spend. The biggest joy that I have now are my kids. My daughter Deanna, she's 20 years old. She's helping me in the shop during the summer. So sometimes if you guys call, you might hear a female voice. No, I didn't leave. That was just my daughter. And the cool part now during the summer is my second daughter, Melanie. She's 16 years old and she's starting to come in. She worked about a month this summer, on and off to the shop, learning how to, mainly I want her to teach how to handle the phone, how to talk to people. At 16 years old, she's very timid. Last Saturday, I sent her to Honda to pick up a part at Honda. She was shaking. What do I do? What do I do? I said, sweetheart, you got a phone? Google Honda. Get a direction. When she got there, she FaceTimed me. Okay, where do I go? I said, ask people. Asking is amazing. When you ask, people answer. Ask for the parts department, she goes to the parts department, she got the part that she needed, and it gave her a boost of confidence. During the dinner table, you know, we always talk about what we're gonna do, and okay, well, I told the kids that, you know, I don't know how long we're gonna keep the shop. As long as I can, we'll keep the shop, but someday, eventually, we're gonna sell it. My 10, 11-year-old son, Jacob, first thing that come out of his mouth is, where am I gonna work? So I said, okay, don't worry about selling the shop, we're not selling the shop. Last Saturday, the newest member of our family showed up. This guy.
Oh, beautiful.
Mop up the oil.
Exactly. This little furball. Less than 24 hours into the house, she jumped on the couch, sprained her paw. I'm not sure if her paw or her shoulder. So now it's just a.
New baby.
Oh my gosh, it's a baby. And you know, I thought it would be my kids who would be really into the darn dog, but now, don't tell my wife I showed this to you guys. But That's a picture of my wife sleeping with the dog on the floor on the first day. She's going, well, yeah. I go, well, I didn't want her to be lonely because she's had a broken or sprained arm. And of course, you know, we try to take it to the vet. Vet wants to charge us $300 to do the x-ray and stuff. And what do? Well, let's Google, let's YouTube it and find out what it could be. So they teach us how to squeeze the legs and the arms and the toes just to see where it hurts. And I think that dog got our number. He was already, I squeeze and tug on every limbs he has, and he didn't whip around. So I think he's just playing a trick on us. But yeah, it's a joy to little. You know, things that eat small animals like that, little things like that will make joy. And same thing with our vehicle. You know, we do take pride on our car, on our vehicle. It's the second most important purchase that we do in our lives. House is number one. You got a big house to buy. Most of our have $50,000 vehicle. Maintain it. Maintenance is the key. Know your car. Know the sounds. That way, if you're hearing any unusual sounds, pay attention to it. It's like our body. You know, we know that when we're not in good shape. Same thing with our car. You should be able to tell. And Rick mentioned earlier that the change in season is coming up. You wake up in the morning, it's starting to get a little bit crisp there. Turn the heat up a little bit in the morning maybe, or at night. Season change. Good rule of thumb is when the season change every 3 months is also time to maintain your vehicle. Yes, there's that little, the new cars nowadays, that little wrench that comes on, little warning lights that tells you when it's time for you to change your oil or when it's time to do the maintenance. Pay attention to those. Don't ignore them. I have countless customers that come in and ignore it. Ignore sounds. Wow, I've been hearing that grinding noise for 3 weeks now. Really? Well, yeah, I just turned off my radio because I thought it was just something in the static on the radio, and I turn the radio up, it goes away. So, okay, well, don't be like my sister. She does that. So it's amazing how we take things for granted and then it balloons up to something much, much worse. I mean, we're all guilty of it. I've done it many times. You know, I've seen the check engine light on my own vehicle. That's nothing. That's just an O2 sensor. You go on a camping trip all the way to Bellingham and then the transmission goes out. So like, oops, $400 tow bill. So, anyways, but my point is, we all love our vehicle. We all depend on it to go back and forth. We owe that to our car. They have feelings too, you know. So, if there's any question, I only have 1 minute left, so no more question. Thank you very much.
Speakers next week.
All right, our speakers for next week. I'm doing the whole juggle around thing again. Okay, Nancy, you're on for next week. You'll have 15 minutes to tell us about yourself.